Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Abdullah Patel English High School and Yati Junior College. Today we are going to start by our subject English Unit 4 4.3 Around the World in 80 Days question and answer session, that is the brainstorming activity. As this section is not having icebreakers, it is only comprising of brainstorming activities. So today we are going to solve brainstorming activities of the textbook. So the first is character. A1. First, which one among the following is not a major character of the novel? Justify. Select the correct one. Phyllis Fogg, Auda, James Strand, Jean Passepartout. So the correct answer is James Strand is not a major character of the novel. He was the real bank robber whom Fix was searching for. Moving further to the next question. Second, complete the table highlighting the various traits of the major characters in the extract. Phyllis Fogg, Auda, Passepartout, Detective, Fix. You have to write down the traits of the characters. So, a solitary person cared little about the opinions of others, honest, courageous, calm, honorable, proud. He had plenty of self respect, was unselfish, non materialistic, obstinate, generous. Outer, grateful, loving, concerned, sincere, sweet, noble, unselfish, non materialistic, generous. Passepartout, loyal, faithful, grateful, loving, concerned, unselfish, repentant, conscious, cons- conscientious. Detective Fix, dutiful, stupid, repentant, unimaginative, stubborn. Third, Phyllis Fogg is as cool as cucumber, whereas Passepartout is as crazy as a loon. Explain the statement by citing some references from the extract. Take out a screenshot and write down the answer. I'm reading for you. Phyllis Fogg was always cool except when he hid the detective Fix. He was cool and calm in prison. Even when he felt that he had lost the wager, he shut himself up in his house quietly without any noise. He was cool when dealing with Passepartout and also when dealing with Outer. He could control his emotion and appear to be expressionless. Passepartout, on the other hand, was a very emotional and excitable person. He was very repentant when he realized that he could have prevented Fogg's arrest. He was thrilled when he knew that Fogg was marrying Auda. He was tremendously worried about Fogg when he thought that Fogg had lost the wager. Finally, when he came to know that they had reached earlier than they had thought, and there was a chance that they could reach the Reform Club in time to win the bet, he became very excited. He rushed back breathlessly to inform Fogg of the fact that it was Saturday and not Sunday. Moving further to our next question. Fourth, Detective Fix tried hard but could not fix the charge of robbery on Fogg. Explain the statement from the point of view of Fix. Answer. From the point of view of Detective Fix, Scotland Yard had given only a vague description of the man who had robbed a great sum from the Bank of England. I thought that Fogg fitted the description and he was the bank robber. I put obstacle in Fogg's path just so that I could arrest him whenever I got the warrant from England. The moment we reached Liverpool, I arrested him. However, after arresting him, I found that he was not the guilty person, and the robber had already been arrested in Edinburgh some days earlier. Fogg was a respectable gentleman living at Savile Row. There was no proof and no evidence against him except that he had been travelling all over the world apparently without any purpose. I was sorry that I arrested him wrongly and I apologized to him. Fifth, describe the character sketch of Order from Fogg's point of view. From Fogg's point of view, Aja had a very difficult time in India. She was nearly killed by her persecutors, but Fogg, managed to save her and bring her to England with me. She is a wonderful person and so grateful for what I did. She was even apologetic for having delayed my return. She did not think about the danger she was in from her persecutors. She is very loving. She is not at all money minded and was ready to marry me even though I did not have a penny to my name. How many will do this? What a compassionate, kind hearted, and generous person, an admirable woman indeed, one whom I am proud to have as my wife. Moving further, that is the second part, that is plot A2 1. Arrange the incident in correct sequence as per the occurrences in the extract. Oda expected Fox's proposal of marriage. When set free, the first thing that Fogg did was he knocked Fix down. As a party of duty, Fix arrested Fogg. At the 57th second, Fogg entered the Reform Club saloon. So you have to arrange over here the points. So the first will come as a part of duty, Fix arrested Fogg. Then, when set free, the first thing that Fogg did was he knocked Fix down. At the 57th second, Fogg entered the Reform Club saloon. And the last will order expected Fogg's proposal of marriage. Second, there is a sudden twist in the climax of the novel explained by citing some lines and reveal an example from the extract. Take a screenshot of it and write down in your book. Okay? Again and again, I'm not going to repeat it out. Answer: Fogg and the reader first think that Fogg had lost not only the wager but also the money and honor that went with it. The following lines tell us that this, after having steadily traversed that long journey, overcome 100 obstacles, brave man dangers, and still found time to do some good on his way, to fail near the goal by a sudden event which he could not have foreseen and against which he was unarmed. It was terrible. The unforeseen event was his arrest and imprisonment by Detective Fix, who mistakenly thought he was the bank robber. However, the twist comes when Pass out finds out that it is not Sunday but Saturday, and perhaps they can just make it to the Reform Club in time, just as Fogg's antagonists are counting the second to their win. Fogg manages to reach the club and win the wager, giving a happy and thrilling ending to the novel. The following lines tell us this: at the 57th second, the door of the saloon opened, and the pendulum had not beat the 60th second when Phileas Fogg appeared, followed by an excited crowd who had forced their way through the club door, and in his calm voice said, "Here I am, gentlemen." Third, which of the following is an appropriate reading for Phileas Fogg starting his journey around the world? Fellow members bed Fogg. Fogg bed his fellow members. Fogg want to marry Oda. Fogg committed robbery. So the answer is fellow members bed Fogg. Then the third part of the chapter, setting. A3. First, which of the following are used as a means of transport in the novel? How do they help the characters in the extract? Elephant, horse, train, steamer. Elephant, train, and steamer were used as a mean of transport in the novel. They help the characters to go around the world in the allotted time. After overcoming a number of obstacles, they reach London in time to win the wager. Next, the beginning of the extract is a scene in the prison at the custom house. From there, the novel moves further from one spot to another. Pick and explain all the places, spots where the incident took place. The most of the part of the setting of in the extract is in London. Explain how the setting of the extract is suited on to the theme of the novel. So here the answer: from the prison at the custom house, Fogg and his companions to go to Liverpool station to catch a train back to London, where Fogg lives and where the Reform Club is located. Once they reach London, thinking that they had lost the wager, They go to Savile Row, which is Fox's residence. The next location is the preacher's house where Passepartout goes to make arrangement for Fox's wedding. The last location is the Reform Club, which Fox reaches in time to win his wager. Next, see here the terms were given: Liverpool, London, and the Reform Club and all. So here we have to explain Liverpool. Liverpool is a place where Fogg disembarks from his steamer, and from where he has to catch a train to London. Liverpool is also the place where he is arrested by Fix and thus misses his train. He arranges a special train in an attempt to reach London on time. Then next is London. Fogg lives in London. The Reform Club, which Fogg frequented on a regular basis, is also in London. Fogg accepts the wager in London. His journey starts from London and ends in London. Hence, London is the central place in the novel. Savile Row. Phileas Fogg's residence is in Savile Row. This is also the place where he takes order. Fogg has always stayed quietly at this place. When he returned from his trip around the world and thought he had lost the wager, he remained there so quietly that no one even knew he had returned. Edinburgh. Detective Fix arrested Phileas Fogg in Liverpool thinking that he was a bank robber. However, the real bank robber James Strand had been arrested on 17 December at Edinburgh. Reform Club. Reform Club is a place which Fogg frequented on a regular basis. It is at the Reform Club that Fogg gets involved in an argument over an article and where the wager with his fellow club members take place. It is a place where Fogg was supposed to return before 8:45 p.m. on 21st December, 80 days later. It is the place where his antagonists are waiting and anxiously for him and which he reaches at practically the last second to win his wager. Fourth one, select the correct options. Which of the following places in India is not mentioned in the extract of the novel? Bombay, now it is Mumbai; Allahabad, Chennai; Calcutta, now it is Kolkata. So it is Allahabad and Chennai. Then the last one is theme A4. Find and explain the significance of various exciting incidents in the extract. The first exciting incident was when Fogg was arrested by Detective Fix and imprisoned in the custom house. This meant that his return to London would be delayed, for he would have missed his train. The second exciting incident was his release. This meant that he could perhaps still reach London on time. The third exciting incident was when he tried to organize a train to London but had problems. The fourth exciting incident was Ada's marriage proposal and Fogg's acceptance of it. This showed that Ada was not at all materialistic and extremely grateful to Fogg for what he had done. She was willing to marry Fogg even after knowing that he was a penniless. The fifth exciting incident was when Passepartout, on reaching the clergyman's house, discovers that it is not Sunday as they had thought but Saturday, and there was a chance that they could still win the wager. The sixth most exciting incident was Fox reaching the Reform Club at the last moment and winning the wager. All the twists and turns and the climax at the end keeps the reader glued to the novel till the end. Next, write 4 to 5 sentences on the time theme of the extract. Answer: Phileas Fogg has to go around the world in 80 days if he has to win the wager. As he and his companions struggle to do this, time foils their plans in many cases. Fogg gets arrested for no fault of his and loses precious time. He is unable to catch the train from Liverpool and a special train he arranged to gets delayed. Fogg is afraid that he had lost the bet. However, in the end, Fogg wins the bet, with seconds to spare as he gained a day when crossing the international date line. His journey through the time zone had gained him a day. The ultimate message is that no one can control time. Time will work the way it wants to work, and humans are at its mercy. Write 4 to 5 sentences on the morality theme of the extract. Answer. Fogg embarks on his journey to preserve his honor and prove his worth to the man at Reform Club. He spends nearly all of his money along the way, showing that riches are not what he is truly out for. He is honorable when he thinks he is penniless. He does not want Ada to marry him. Ada, by proposing him, shows that she is not materialistic. He forgives Passepartout his mistakes. Passepartout shows his loyalty and love for his master at every step. In the end, when he wins the bet, he divides whatever money is left between Passepartout and Detective Fix, showing that he had no grudges against him. The writer shows that with human efforts and willpower, enormous obstacles can be overcome. The writer also tells us in the end that Fogg had won something more important than money by traveling around the world. He had won a charming woman who made him the happiest of men. The moral at the end is that love and its attainment is more important than all the challenges and money in the world. Fifth, justice is served, done in the end. Explain. Answer. Phileas Fogg is an honorable, compassionate person. He wants to win his of going around the world in 80 days. He struggles against time as well as obstacles and delays that come his way. Finally, when he reaches Liverpool and is about to go to London to win his wager, he is arrested because he is wrongly thought to be a bank robber. Throughout his ordeal, Fogg is calm and unshakable. Even though he thinks he has lost the wager, he does not blame anyone or lose his temper. He tells Ada that he cannot marry her and make her live in poverty. Justice is done unexpectedly in the end when he wins the wager. He had unknowingly gained a day when crossing the international deadline, and hence he was still in time to meet the deadline. In the end, the writer tells us that Fogg had won something more important than money by traveling around the world. He had won a charming woman who made him the happiest of men. Thus, justice was done to the quiet and honorable Phileas Fogg. Language. If I first elaborate the following quotes in the light of the extract of the novel around the world in 80 days. A. Quitters never win and winners never quit. Answer. Even though Fox loses his time due to being wrongly arrested and imprisoned, he makes every effort to reach London on time. He arranges special train from Liverpool. He does not quit when he feels that there is some faint chance of a win. Later, when Passepartout discovered that it is Saturday and not Sunday, and that there is still a chance of winning, Fox puts aside everything and rushes headlong to the Reform Club. He does not give up in spite of all the obstacles and come out as a winner, both in winning the bet and the love of a good woman. Time is the only solution to problems. Answer. The most important theme in the extract is time. Fogg's wager is a race against time, and his adventure illustrates repeatedly that time is fickle and either works for or against them. In many cases, time foils their plans when the delays build up and the train to Liverpool leaves without them. In the end, though, it is time that helps win Fogg his bet, since they gain a day when crossing the international deadline. The ultimate message is that no one can control time. Time will work the way it wants to work, and humans are at its mercy. Time is the only solution to problem. Next, following up some dialogues of the major character in the extract, find out who the speaker is, tone, style, significance, etc. of the dialogue. I hope the clip is visible to you people. Take a screenshot of it and write down the answer. See the dialogue. Why do you not curse me? It was my fault. So the speaker is Passepartout. Who said to whom? Passepartout to Phileas Fogg. Tone, style, significance. Repentant thinks himself responsible for not telling Phileas Fogg about Fix earlier. Second, if Phileas Fogg had come in the 7:23 train, he would have got here by this time. We can therefore regard the bet as won. Here the speaker is Andrew Strout. to whom and restore to the other antagonist at the Reform Club. Tone, style, significance here. Nervous and anxious, the man with whom Fogg had the wager were calculating whether he would still meet the deadline. Third, sir, forgive me a most unfortunate resemblance. Rob arrested 3 days ago. You are free. Speaker is Detective Fix to Phileas Fogg, repentant and apologetic for arresting Phileas Fogg when he was innocent. Fourth, will you pardon me for bringing you to England? Speaker is Phileas Fogg to Auda, proud and honourable, asking pardon from Auda for bringing her to England and on false hopes when he has now become poor. Last one, it is for me to ask that question. You were ruined, but now you are rich again. Speaker is Auda to Phyllis Fogg. Honorable and dignified says that this after Fogg wins the wager and he asks her whether she will want to marry her. Okay, so here we end by our brainstorming activity. Complete down in your English notebook and be ready by your book. Till then, till the next video, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you so much for listening.